Damn, I'm late. Off Work Sports. Saturday, the event of the night for me, other than the football games, was the UFC fight. The return of Jon Jones, the Brazilian War, Nunes versus the Bull. And then you had a couple other fights, little fights in the background that were interesting. Corey Anderson. And then there was another fight with Chad Mendez in there. He lost his fight. So I'm not going to get into those other two. Those guys are trying to get on the come up. I want to talk about the bull race that happened. Nunes versus Cyborg, the bull. And it was a beautiful match. I mean, if you're talking about how UFC should be, if every match could be like that, even though you wouldn't get your money's worth for time, it would be awesome. Great match by Nunes. Proved to be the better striker tonight. I don't think Cyborg was ready for what Nunes brought to the table. I believe they have sparred before. I don't think Nunes gave it her all. Cyborg got knocked out and was a very, very, very graceful champion. Respect to Cyborg in the way that she took the loss. She congratulated her home teammate. I think excellent performance for Cyborg. But I want to step back. Does this make Nunes the best fighter in the UFC? From a belt perspective, yes. But there is one name, I call her the Eastern European gangster, Javenska. I'm saying it wrong, but the blonde-haired kickboxing champion. I'm going to call her Eastern European Slaughterhouse. She is ultimately, to me, the champion of the UFC. She just won her first belt. I think that her and Nunes fighting for a third time would be great, because I think Nunes was gifted. Shevchenko brings a different body of work to the embodiment of a fighter, and where she is more strategic and she has awesome leg power. Step back to the mistakes from Cyborg. I mentioned Shevchenko for a reason, because I mentioned she's tactful in the way that she approaches the fight. Cyborg was not. If she would have stepped back, could have this been a different fight? Obviously. Obviously it would have been a different fight if she would have stepped back. But, things go as they go. And she was in the moment and made an incredible fight for the UFC history. However, if there is a rematch between Nunes and Cyborg, she has to be more tactful in the way she's attacking. And I think Cyborg, to win this fight, as she sees there's a little bit of a difference in the striking game, she's going to have to take Nunes to the ground to redeem her championship status. Taking your time works, folks, right? That's why some guys feel each other out, trying to get understanding, basically, of what that other fighter can bring to the table in the first round. You never know what they train for. You never know what the tactics will be in war. Now, let's go into a guy who Cyborg could take a lot of lessons from. He is, to me, the king of UFC, the ultimate champion. Him and Anderson Silva are up top. Jon Jones, wow, what a performance. A year and a half off. I mean, what else can you say about this guy? I understand the steroid topic is always in the air in the background. But I always looked at it. I mean, steroids, I'm old school. I think of steroids from a strict perspective. We know that steroids increases the stamina, right, as well. There's steroids that can help your stamina. And I just can't get there with his skinny frame, thinking that if he did take steroids, it had an impact on his fighting style. Because, to me, he's not one of those strength players, so it's not going to be about strength, throwing somebody and slamming them. The steroid, the only effect would be on the stamina. He appears to have good stamina since the beginning of his career. Was he taking steroids back then? I don't know. I really don't care to talk about it. Right now, he's been tested. I think he fell for some remnants being left over. They moved it to LA. I think Jon Jones, to me, is the world-class champion in UFC, despite the fact of the steroid use that we heard about. He's awesome in all respects. And he came through and really dominated. What's his name? That's a shame I forgot his name. The Swedish Warrior. in such a fashion that it makes Daniel Cormier going out in March have to really reconsider what his approach is going to be. I think Daniel Cormier is going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight. I had to open the gate. He's going to have to fight Jon Jones if he wants to solidify himself as a world champion. I don't think there's any question that he's going to have to go at it with Jon Jones, and it's a great opportunity for him to showcase his skill set and really show that he's a true champion. To me, those are the top two. Anderson Silva, number one for me because he's a little bit more flashy than Jon Jones. Jon Jones is just a great chess player in the ring. And then I got Daniel Cormier a close second, like a tied second for me right now. So we'll see how this edges out. I think it's great for everybody to watch these fights. Jon Jones' return, he is the GOAT right now. And Daniel Cormier is a really close second. They both did incredible things for UFC. Now it's time for them two to get it on. I'm out. All for Sports Recap. That's the fight.